Ahoy there, and welcome back to Building the Boys. We now have issue 47 of Hachette's Build the Titanic, and in this one, we'll be building the deck over the first class lounge. Now, this is a new piece of superstructure for us, which is really rather lovely. We've opened the boxes up. We have got reflective strip inside here. Now, I've seen what's coming up in some of these, and it appears that we have reflective strips and what appears to be stickers to block light bleed. So again, there's a lot of, I want to mod mine. Just hang on, because we're getting parts now that people have already gone ahead and modded. Just cool your jets and see what comes before you start modding. Because if you've gone and painted all of your ship, you didn't need to at this point, because it looks like they're providing the stuff to block out any sort of light bleed that's there. So it'll be interesting to see. We've got a bag of screws, a reflective sticker, like I said. We have this small envelope. We have a large envelope here. I have absolutely no idea what's in. I'm assuming this is the decking inside this one, and it is La La Land. No, it's it's our piece of. I find this very strange. They do this. They always come with the deck fitted to it, but it's not stuck. We have to take that off and then stick it to it. Very bizarre. So we're going to get this one done, we're going to get this built. This is then going to screw to the large piece we've been working on. So this is really starting to take shape now. We're losing the white. That's a good thing. All this white plastic we can see at the moment, the more of these go on, the more of that we lose. So we lose these kind of white bases and we're just seeing decking as it builds up, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. So let's get into this. At the end of this one, if you are just sticking around for the instructions, please remember to like and subscribe. But if you're sticking around for a Titanic talk, we're going to be talking about skirts. Skirts. And you might be thinking, well, what skirts? Not what skirts, who skirts? Who is skirts? Intrigued? Well, you'll find out at the end. So let's get this built and let's have a chat and we'll find out who skirts is. Okay, so here is our new piece of decking, and we are quite simply remove the backing from our decking strip, and we are going to lay this over here like so. And again, I mean, it's only going to fit on one way because of the die cuts of this. So let's get that in, all in place. Lovely stuff. I'm going to smooth that down again, get your edges. You can see again the amount of stuff that it's going to pin to this deck. It's going to pin this decking down. But if you want to glue it, you go ahead and you glue it. You do what makes you feel happy, makes you feel good. So that's pretty much. I mean, look at these windows. These look lovely. This is looking really nice. This is looking really nice. This is going to sit onto here once we're done with this. Now, we have a lot of different cowls and vents and whatnot to plug into here. Again, these are very white. So if you are looking to upgrade these or paint these, my advice is don't glue them in yet. As I said, I'm building mine stock. So these things will go in. I'm going to see how well they sit. If they need gluing, well, then they need gluing. I'd rather glue it than lose it. But I'm trying to glue as little as possible when it comes to details. So if later on I do think actually I want to change the colour of that, or I want to upgrade it, I can without having to, you know, pry it off. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the reflective strip. So the reflective strip, I should have done that first actually, but no harm, no foul. Flip this one over. So our reflective strip is just going to sit here. There's no real guide for it. It's just going to sit here. So our reflective strip, we're going to take that off and we're going to pop that in place. I don't know what's reflecting. Not a clue. But we'll find out if I can get this off the backing paper. Let me sort this. Okay, so we got this off the backing. That wasn't the easiest bloody thing to do. But this is just going to pop over here. He says. Christ, not without a fight. This is amazingly sticky, amazingly bloody awkward. I think if I got that in one shot, I wouldn't have had a problem. But I didn't. Christ, pig zero this. Right, let's try with the tweezers. Nope. Yep. And down. All right. What's that for? I don't know. It's going to reflect something. Don't know what, but that's what it's going to do. So we have that one in place. So that's where it needs to go. That's where it needs to be. What's that going to reflect? Not a clue. But there it is. Okay, so flipping back over, what we're going to do is going to install these two vent pieces here and here. Now again, these do work on the fat lug, thin lug premise, so they are only going to go in one way. So these two here, flipping around there, start with the first one. Fat lug, thin lug. Yeah, that's loose as hell. That's never going to stay. That's never going to stay on there. I really don't want to glue if I don't have to, but I think I have to. That's the annoying bloody thing there. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Ah, well, right. So fat lug, thin lug on this one is going to go in here. See, this one's snug. The other one isn't. I think I got this the wrong way around. That might explain why I'm having issues. There we go. And then yeah, it's not so bad now. They're still loose. That one's particularly loose. But I'm doing it without glue for now. If I want to glue it later on, I can. But in the immediate, no, I'm not gluing. We'll see. We will see. Okay, next part we're going to take is it this part? No. Bloody locating which part of which isn't the easiest thing at the moment. It is that part. Yep, it is the part I picked up and then said no it isn't. Yes, it is. Right, okay. So let's flip this around so you can see what we're doing. We're going to go in here. I'm just going to fit just there. Snug as you like, yeah. Just pulled the back piece off that. Brilliant. God, that touches as well. Christ alive. Yep, pig zero that. Try again. So that's got that one in. So that's how we're looking here. Now we're going to go around to this side. And we have a cowled vent here, so that's this one. Yeah, this one's going to go in here. Oh, it's not. This one's going to go in here. Oh, dear. All right, there we go. So that one goes in there. We got there. And then this one here is going to go in there. So that's where these two are going to go. Okay, so this is how we're now looking there. So that's where we are. Again, if you want to glue these, when you go ahead, you do what's right for you. But again, I'm not sold yet on whether or not I'm upgrading the details. I might do later on, but in the immediate for me, if I don't need to glue this in, I'm not gluing this in. So back round to this section. And we are going to take this vent here. Nope. There we go. So that one in. Where are we going now? Next we are going over to, there we go, over to here. That'll be this one. Just going to sit in there. Yeah, that's that one in. And then finally, this one here is going to sit facing this way on the top of here. So that's where that one's going to go. So that's how we're looking. Got there in the end, didn't I? That was a lot of messing about. All right. Where else are we going? We have more. Yeah, we have our final two. So our final one is going to go in here like so. And then one last one is going to pop in there. This is a busy section, but this would, I mean, this would have been essentially a roof. So naturally there's been a lot of ventilation coming out of this one. So there we are. There's a lot going on this one. That is a busy, busy deck. Happy with that? Right, okay. So that's where we are with that. And then I believe we are going to screw this to the top. That's what we're going to do. So let's bring this over. This is going to sit on this section here. So it should be going around that way. That's going to sit in there. So you can see it lines up to these steps. It sits over there. So our steps line up just there. You can see our steps line up quite lovely with this one now. So that drops in, and you can see the steps line up. And then we're going to screw this in with 4 of, I believe, 6 of AP screws. So let me get these loaded up, get it flipped over and get this done. Okay, so there's a lot of holes underneath here, so I'm going to try and make this cohesive as possible for you. So we're going to start with our first one here. So let's get that one in. Now again, don't go mad because it's plastic into plastic. You want it to bite and hold. What you don't want to do is overscrew it and start buggering this up. Beware of your davits on the other side as well. You don't want to be snapping anything you just put on. So yeah, be very, very conscious of that. Our second one's going to go in here. There we go. Our third one, we are going into here. And normally I'd spider web. And the OCD is killing me not doing that, but I just want to get this right. So I'll risk not spider webbing. One more in here. And then we have our final 2 holes for our final 2 screws. And they are here. So I don't know the rest of you, I'll feel a lot better when this deck is a lot sturdier than it is, because it does feel a little flimsy. I'll be a lot happier when it's got the underneaths. Because again, don't be thinking this attaches to the hull, because it does not. This is the top of a fairly massive superstructure. It's easy to think that this is going onto the hull, but it's not. Okay, so that's screwed in. That's all in place. Rather lovely. Get out of the way, you. Right. There we are. So that's how we're looking. It's looking really nice. Happy with that. Looking good. And as you see, I mean, mine's just been turned upside down to the side. None of those parts have come off. I mean, they're not going anywhere. So, you know, shy of, you know, someone messing around with their hands, none of this is moving. None of this is going anywhere. So you're okay. You're good. That's it for this one. Let's have a quick chat. So that's issue 47 complete. Simple. There's not loads to do in it, but enough to do in it that it makes an impact. It does make a big impact because we're starting to see this build up now. Again, as I said, it's easy to look at this and you visualize and go, well, this and then the hull. And it's like, no, there's a lot of structure this is going to sit on before it gets to the hull. Because this was high up on the ship. But it's lovely. I think it's looking really nice. I really do. What's the reflective strip for? I don't know. I genuinely don't have not a clue, because we put it on, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can see it, but I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, if you're just sticking around for build instructions, please, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you are sticking around for our Titanic talk, we're going to be talking about skirts. Well, who is Skirts? Well, Skirts is a very a cruel nickname given to a gentleman called William Sloper. And this is a picture of William Sloper. So that's William Sloper. He was a stockbroker traveling from England to New York. He was an American, and he's one of those guys that I think was the victim of circumstance to a degree, and it's quite an unfair story. The night of the collision, Sloper was playing bridge, as a lot of the first-class passengers were, in the first-class lounge, which, having just built the first-class lounge, you can see exactly how close it is to the lifeboats. Really close. I mean, you literally walk out the door, you're at the lifeboats. And he was playing bridge with none other than Dorothy Gibson, who we've already discussed the bizarre life of Dorothy Gibson. He was playing bridge with Dorothy Gibson, and he claims he had no intention of leaving. He wasn't going to leave. He was going to stay put. But Dorothy insisted that he go with her in the lifeboat. So William did. William was in Lifeboat 7, the first lifeboat to leave the Titanic, which was woefully undermanned as well. I think it was 23 people in Lifeboat 7. Could have held another another 42 people. Another 42 people could have fit in that lifeboat. So that's 42 souls that died needlessly. But it was the first one to launch, and he was on it. So women and children first. No, he was straight in. Dorothy Gibson, I'm with Dorothy, off went. So there was confusion of how this was possible. How was it that William Sloper managed to not only get a very nice seat on a lifeboat, but on the first lifeboat away, when he was neither woman nor child? Wow. After his journey on the Carpathia to New York, on day one he arrives in New York, he was immediately identified by the tabloids as one of the gentlemen who allegedly had dressed as a female to secure a place on the lifeboat. He denies that. He says that isn't true. There are people that say that it is. There were witnesses that said, no, we definitely saw that man wearing a woman's overcoat and a shawl. And this haunted him for years. Years. He spent his whole life fighting these allegations. And he picked up the nickname Skirts. So William Sloper was commonly known as Skirts. Even when he went on to lead his own very successful investment bank, Skirts was still how he was known. And he never lived that down. And this is true of a few people. I mean, it's like what happened to Masabumi Hanzo, who we also spoke about last year. Same thing, there was allegation that he dressed as a woman. Sloper says he didn't. He said he walked to the... I mean, I suppose there is some logic to this. They would have literally been the first people away. I mean, the Titanic would have been listing at this point. It would have been a case of, we'll go, and off they went. So there is some, the full sort of melee and just massive people wouldn't have happened at this point. So it might have been quite a pleasant, we'll go, and on we go, and off we went. Because Dorothy Gibson's escape, I mean, as escapes from the Titanic goes, hers was incredibly simple. So when you have this whole thing of she's in the movies, saved from the Titanic, and how harrowing it was for her, not really. It was a case of put your drink down and get on the boat, and off you went, and that was it. So it wasn't, they didn't see the humanity that was happening on board that vessel. They were gone and away long before any of that happened. But William Sloper was known his whole life as Skirts. That was his nickname. Not like William Skirt Sloper, Skirts. And it was snarled at him quite a lot. And he was seen as less of a man. taking this place. And I get it. I mean, at a time when honor and chivalry was king, how do you justify it? How do you justify that you didn't just get a lifeboat over a woman and child, you were on the first lifeboat away? I get it. And I mean, again, it's harsh because we look at it now with our modern perspective of things. And we say, well, equality means he can take whichever seat he wants. And like, yeah, it does mean that. And should he be persecuted for saving his own life? No, probably not. Probably not. Just because somebody has put this trope down, then it is what it is. I'm playing devil's advocate here because we can all say, oh no, I'd give up my seat in a heartbeat. Would you? Would you? When those funnels are collapsing and people are screaming and throwing themselves off the side of the vessel and you're watching your loved ones float away, are you just going to stand on that deck and not attempt to get in a lifeboat? Would you? Really? It'd be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? We all like to say we would. But who knows how you're going to react in that situation? We don't, do we? That is all for this one. We will be back very, very soon with the final one this month, issue 48, which I'm very excited about because we're going to be installing the Grand Staircase. Can you believe it? The Grand Staircase. We get it. So I've seen it. It's very ornate, very pretty things. Even got the clock on the wall. Wasn't expecting that. So tune in for that one. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. Please remember to both like and subscribe, and we will see you very, very soon for the last one of this month with issue 48. I will catch you then.